This is a short video to show you how to use GitHub for our homework assignments. When you follow the invitation link from Slack for any of our assignments, you should have the option to accept the assignment on GitHub Classroom. And then you'll have a link to your repository. And from here, you can clone the repository to your computer from the green code button. You can select Open with Github Desktop. If you haven't downloaded GitHub Desktop before, it will take you to where you can do that. But once GitHub Desktop is installed, you can open and choose where the folder will be created, and then hit clone. And once it's done cloning, you have a copy of all the files in the repository on your computer. You can access the folder where those files live by the Show in Finder, or if you're on Windows, Show in Explorer button. So here we have the PDF with the description of homework 1, and this is the easiest way to read the problems. So I would start here in working out my solutions, but once I have drafts of the solutions on paper, then I want to write those up in LaTeX. You can do that on Overleaf, as I demoed in the LaTeX video, but there are also lots of programs that can edit LaTeX files locally. If you're on a Mac, I think that the MacTeX package is quite handy. And included in the MacTeX package is TechShop, which is how I edit the homeworks before I send them to you. TechShop and many other local LaTeX editors will have two windows, one for the LaTeX code and one for the compiled PDF. So when I write up my answer to the first problem, I can then hit the Typeset button, and the text that I have added shows up in the PDF. But now, when I typeset, that saved my changes to the text file, and it also compiled the result into an updated PDF. And whenever the files in this directory have changed, those will show up in the changes list on GitHub Desktop. And if I have any changed files, I can commit them to the repository by entering a summary and choosing Commit to Main. When you commit, that saves the current state of all those files in the local copy of the repository. So that means if you ever want to come back to this version of those files in the future, you can. But committing only happens in the local copy on your computer. So if we want to send those changes to GitHub, we have to push to origin. When that's done, it will say that we have no local changes. And if we go back to the browser, we'll see our commit message reflected for the files that were changed. And if we open one of those files, then we'll see all of our changes reflected in the version of the file in the origin repository. And this copy of the repository on GitHub will automatically become your submission for the assignment. I have a script that will clone everyone's repositories at the deadline, and so whatever version of the files is in the GitHub repository at the deadline will become your submission.